University administrators generally responded to the disturbances by attempting to meet the protesters at least halfway within the university's interpretation of the law. But so far as some legislators were concerned, that was giving in to the dissidents. Judging from what has happened since, we must assume the pressures placed on university administrators were very great. Southern Illinois University President Delight Morris has announced he will retire. And Illinois State University President Samuel Braden was called before a caucus of legislators on May 11th to answer for his response in a confrontation situation. The legislators were upset because Dr. Braden had permitted a U.S. flag to be lowered to half-staff in connection with student strikes over involvement in Cambodia and the deaths of 4 students at Kent State.
Through the years, we have achieved an institutional record of which we in the state of Illinois can be proud. I simply find that I no longer enjoy grappling with the kinds of problems that confront a college president today, and I will leave the university and the community with real regret.
The board accepted Dr. Braden's resignation with regret, then began its own probe into student disorders by asking 2 of the institutions under its jurisdiction, Northern Illinois University and Illinois State University, to investigate all possible means for paying for the costs of disorders at the 2 campuses.
We have no way to pay for that. Our budget is already thin. We can either reduce programs and take it out of student fees, or we can make some attempt to recover the money. We have asked the student leaders to join us in this endeavor. There was one proposal that we simply divide the total amount of money by the total number of students, but it became clear the more this was deliberated that appeared inappropriate at the present time. We didn't think that students, parents, taxpayers, and all others, we felt that they would interpret that as punitive, and we don't think that's an appropriate way to do it. We have, however, asked the student leaders, Pat McEntee of Northern, Chuck Witt of Illinois State University, to take on the responsibility of involving students in some kind of a reimbursement program. And we expect them to report to this board in October.
These reactions to the disturbances in spring have pointed out directions for resolution of conflict without suppression. Lieutenant Governor Paul Simon, late in May, named a 22-man committee to study solutions for preventing campus unrest at Southern Illinois University, which was closed as a result of disturbances. Chancellor Jack Peltison of the Urbana campus of the University of Illinois has called for a convocation of a commission of students, faculty members, and administrators to consider and suggest reform of all aspects of undergraduate educational life. And there is movement for change in law enforcement and judicial systems as well.
There are studies underway. The American Bar Foundation, which is the research arm of the legal profession, has just completed a study, and I'm looking forward to seeing the results of that. That study was undertaken under the direction of Kenneth Pye, who's the dean of the Duke Law School. The president has, within the last several days, as you know, appointed another committee to study the whole matter of campus dissent. The complex is a very, the problem is a very complex one. I think if there were any easy answers, it would probably mean that the problem isn't as serious as it is.
Our disciplinary system had an element of counseling about it, trying to help the individual student who made a mistake. This is the traditional approach to student discipline. Totally inadequate in the presence of a mob or in the presence of the kinds of disruption that we've had. And so then new rules had to be made. Furthermore, we have the whole problem of our relationships with the law enforcement agencies. We've put a tremendous load on them. At Illinois, for example, we have always been willing, with the support of the faculty and students generally, to call police when laws were being violated. And our campus policemen have instructions to arrest anyone guilty of violation of the law and to call for help when they need it. And this has been a pretty firm position that we've taken right from the beginning. But the result of this is that it's put a load on the court system. When you have a mob situation and hundreds of students or participants, some of them were not students, I want to add, get arrested. And then you go through the long, involved process of getting them treated as individuals rather than as a mob, of course. And charges get changed, and witnesses disappear, and many cases get dismissed when we wish that we had more evidence to establish the case. Well, this has made a very great strain on the civil authorities. So we've been working on that problem also on a national basis.